Alright, so we're having trouble with the Raptor 700 not wanting to start. When it does start, it runs terrible. Sometimes it just backfires. We're having a lot of issues with it, so, we've tried a lot of different things. I checked, just to make sure it had lots of fuel, fresh oil, brand new air filter. Everything seems fine. We cleaned the spark plug, made sure it's getting spark. We did a compression test, it did pass. We inspected the exhaust valve clearances and we adjusted the intake valve to make sure they were within spec. So what I did was I removed the throttle position sensor. And the throttle position sensor normally goes right there. You can see I've got it off right now because I was comparing it to the ones on the internet that I was ordering. And you can see as I push the throttle here in and out, it also moves that little rod right there on the side of the throttle body, rotates it. So as I'm moving this, it's moving the throttle position sensor that normally bolts on right there. Well, it's a little electric sensor and it can go bad. So this is the cable that plugs into the TPS. This is the TPS pigtail that goes to your main harness, and that just tells your computer where the throttle is at. So as I turn this, you're gonna see it. So this is idling, and then this is wide open. So when I have my thumb all the way down on the throttle, that's wide open. It's got the little rod right here twisted all the way, and a little sensor reads through these wires and tells the computer that you need to inject gas. This is a 2008. This is a 2008 Raptor Special Edition. It came with a red frame. The previous owner spray painted it black. But this is a 2008 model. So after watching Cuervo Racing's channel, I was able to figure out, Daniel did a video about the Raptor 700 throttle bodies, and he was kind of showing off the different throttle bodies from the various years. And first he showed off the earlier style throttle bodies, like an 06, 07 throttle body, and then he was showing off the newer ones. And I guess apparently they came out with a newer design, a new version of the throttle body. One of the things is that the throttle position sensor is more waterproof in the newer version. So I didn't realize at the time that this is an 06, 07 throttle body that the previous owner has put on my 2008 Raptor. So when I went on the internet and I ordered my throttle position sensor, I got the wrong one. I got the one for the 2008, assuming it would be perfect for my 2008 Raptor. But I was wrong. This is actually an 06, 07 throttle body. So I sent back the 2008. I ordered a new one. So here's the one that I removed. This is the throttle position sensor that I think has gone bad. This is the one that was on there. Just give you guys a good shot of that. So this is the throttle position sensor that came off of my throttle body on the 06, 07 throttle body, even though this is an 08. And then this is the one that I've ordered as a replacement. So this is hopefully the right one. And it's interesting that it looks like they changed the part number, because the outside plastic, this says one kit. So it's 1S3W8588-00. And then inside of that is another bag, and that's 1S3-14462-01. I'm assuming that that's probably the throttle body part number, and I'm not sure why they call it a kit. Maybe it has the O-ring on there, because there's an O-ring, I believe, that sits kind of on this little inset piece right here to help seal it. So anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and open this now, throw it on there, and hopefully she runs better. If not, we'll have to take a look a little further and see what else might be wrong with it. Well, they seem similar, but I don't know if they're the exact same. This one seems like it's got a longer area that sticks out than this one. Like the profile, you know, of the other one, it seems like it doesn't stick out as far, so I hope this is the right one. Hope we don't have strike number 2 in my hand, but we'll see. Alright, so we were looking at parts diagrams, scratching our head trying to figure it out, and then this popped out, which is the O-ring that I need. It was actually, no wonder they call it a kit, because it had the throttle position sensor and the O-ring in there. So that goes in between the throttle position sensor and the throttle body, assuming to help keep the water out. And part number for the O-ring, should you need to order the O-ring separately, 1S314462-01. The throttle position sensor is 3P6-8588-5-00. And then the kit, if you want to order the whole kit, which is what I got, which is the throttle position sensor and the O-ring together, 1S3W8588-00. Alright, let's see if we can get these screwed in. It's just 2 screws, it shouldn't take very long. Alright guys, I got the key on, and I've got the old throttle position sensor sitting here, and I'm just going to stab a probe into the top yellow wire here, and I'm going to turn the old one all the way down and then up. So that should go all the way to 0, and then it should go all the way up to 4.6. And you just want to turn it slow to see if there's any dead spots as you're turning it. Because if there's any dead spots, that's going to be where, you know, the engine would cut out. And so earlier, when I was doing this, there was some spots down below where it felt kind of, I don't know, crunchy. And it would just cut out. See, like there, like see how it's at 0 now? See, as I go up here, it would kick in for a second and then go out. See, now it's back, and then it would go away. So as I'm turning this, it should be a steady, consistent, you know, going up. But instead, see, like right now, it should not be at 0. It's still stabbed in, but it's at 0. As I turn it just a little bit more, you can see the voltage come back. Let me get the wire out of the way. Okay, that's all the way to the right, all the way clockwise. I'm going to go ahead and start rotating to the left. And there's that dead spot we talked about earlier. I'm going to keep rotating, and you can see it come back. If I rotate back to the right, okay, we're not all the way to the right, and it's at 0. If I rotate a little bit more, it comes back. So there's a dead spot somewhere there, somewhere between right where it needs to be set, which I think the spec is 0.63 to 0.73. 0.73. So as I turn this up and down, there's a dead spot right where I need to actually set. And I think it does, yeah, see it does it again too. So there's actually a couple of dead spots. I think that there's water, yeah, and then above, see, it goes to 0. As I turn it some more, it's just completely dead, and then it comes back. So this, I'm gonna go back to the right. Yeah, and now we're dead again. And now we're back. Now we're dead. Now we're back. Yeah, so this, I think that there's water inside is what's going on. And what you should see here is numbers constantly. You should never see it completely cut out the way that it's doing that. You can feel it kind of grinding, and it feels like gritty inside. And you should never see the numbers jumping around like that. It should be a smooth transition as you go through the numbers here. You should never see it. See, like right there, it's completely dead there. But if I rotate just a little bit, it comes back. and then it goes away again as I go up. So right where you're supposed to set this thing, it has a dead spot, and that's an indication of a bad throttle position sensor, and that's why I went ahead and ordered a new one. There's the new throttle position sensor, and I've got the probe and the yellow wire again, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn it up. Oh yeah, and you can see already it's much smoother. As I go all the way up, it goes right to almost to 4.93, and that's all the way to the counterclockwise position. I'm going to go ahead and go back to clockwise now, and you can see there are no dead spots, especially around the 7.3 mark, which is where we need to be. Beautiful, it's nice and smooth, and I haven't seen it cut out once now. So this is definitely probably going to help. If this wasn't the issue, I can only see this helping. It's already looking a million times better, though. It hasn't cut out yet. It's just 100% perfectly smooth as I go from left to right. So with this multimeter, you can see I've got it set to volts right now, and I'm going to set it to DCV 20, and so it's showing voltage with 2 decimal places. And in the manual, what it says that we're looking for, the ideal voltage is going to be, the ideal voltage on the yellow wire in the middle, that's going to be between 0.63 and 0.73 volts. So we're going to apply, the black lead is connected to the negative side of the battery, and the red lead I'm going to poke into the yellow wire that's coming out the back of the throttle position sensor. You won't be able to see it because it's kind of hidden back here, but I'm going to poke that in there, and hopefully this will read somewhere close to 0.63 and 0.73, so somewhere between 0.63 and 0.73. We're going to be adjusting, and it looks like the furthest position is all the way clockwise, and then we're going to be rotating it counterclockwise just a tiny bit at a time as we check the voltage gauge over here. Okay, so we've got our meter, and we've got our throttle position sensor. I'm going to go ahead, and I've got the black lead hooked up to the battery already, so all we need to do now is worry about getting this on the yellow lead that's on the back of the throttle position sensor. So here's the back of the throttle position sensor, and I'll just show you. I'm going to be stabbing the probe into that yellow wire in the middle there and getting a voltage reading off of that while I'm turning this right here until that over there says between 0.63 and 0.73. Okay, so you can see right now I've got the red probe in the yellow wire, and it's reading 0.53, so we need to rotate it just a little bit more. And now we're at 0.67. So it said between 0.63 and 0.73. I think if I rotate it just a little bit more, it'll be at 0.68. Oh, see, we went to a little too far. We're still within spec, but I want to be right in the middle. Right? It's very sensitive. It doesn't take very much. You just barely turn it. But there we have 0.69. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. Leave the probe hooked up. Oh, see, I budged it just a little tiny bit. There we go. 0.69.
Bye.